Well, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Staff Chat. It is good to be with you all on this first week of spring. It feels so good outside, except for the nose itching and the eyes watering a little bit with the allergies. It is good to have spring weather. I'm excited today for our staff chat. We are going to share a little bit about what's going on in our ministry areas for our church and for our community. Everybody has their plate full and busy just making plans and trying to ramp everything back up even further than it was when we were not gathering, but as we look forward to regathering in May. And so we're just going to dig in. Gavin, you're going to go first and just share with us what's going on in your ministry area.
So ever since we started lockdown or got ourselves ready to kind of stay away for a little while, we've been trying our best to keep kids engaged, keep students engaged in whatever shape or fashion that was. First, we started out with online gatherings and games and all sorts of things where we got the group to join on Zoom or join in other ways from a distance. Then we started to shift to getting folks together last summer outdoors over by the activity center about the same time we started doing the tailgate gatherings. Then when it got colder, we started with fire pits and whatnot. And then we started showing Friday night football games and movies outdoor on a big screen that we had put out on the side of the building and all of those things. And here recently, we've tried to get individual groups together just to keep connection going. So we took the group of high schoolers this past weekend and a few eighth graders to Topgolf, just to do something outdoors that was safe together, just to keep connection with folks. But we've still been doing Wednesday nights and Sunday nights in whatever shape or fashion that is. And here recently we've been doing Sunday nights inside the gym, spaced out and in bigger classrooms. And on Wednesday nights, we've been still offering an opportunity to stay virtual. So we still do something online in Zoom in some way, shape or fashion, especially for those that aren't comfortable yet coming indoors. And so we can keep everyone that's available to stay connected. And so this summer, we've got 3 trips. We're planning on as many adults as possible being vaccinated and even maybe some kids too, depending on how things go. But we're planning on 3 trips this summer, one with seniors, one with camp, and one with a missional emphasis nearby. And both of the camp and the missional trip are reassured by everyone involved that they're going to be as safe as possible, and we're going to take all the precautions we can to make sure that even in transportation and the work we're doing and all the things that we're going to try our best to be safe and keep folks as safe and engaged and also participating in God's work in the world around us. It's good stuff. So we're excited.
Like Gavin said, we've been just trying to keep people connected for all this time. And so one of the ways we've been doing that throughout this Lenten season is we've had families creating Journey with Jesus videos. So different families have been telling a different Bible story that we've been sending out just as a way to see one another, and then also just to allow those families to make some fun memories making those videos. They have been so cute, and I'm so thankful to all the families that have participated. Families have all had Lent boxes to do together at home, and we are just trying to resource families to continue doing discipleship at home. I'm so looking forward to our getting together for Easter at Airlie Gardens. After the second service, we're going to be having a kids' Easter egg hunt. So we're going to put eggs out at Airlie and let everybody go and hunt as a part of the celebration of the day. So that's going to be a ton of fun. We are still Zooming with kids on Wednesday nights, and we've been doing a study of Psalms and Proverbs all throughout this semester, and we're about to wrap that up, and it's been a fun time. We are also looking forward to some trips this summer. We're going to be taking 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders to Passport Kids Camp in Greensboro. And again, they're going to be following all the precautions, and we're going to do all we can to keep our kids safe and healthy. And we're so excited that we're going to be able to offer Camp Jonah and Camp Creation. They are going to look a little bit different because we're going to be taking precautions to keep everyone sort of in their own classrooms throughout the day rather than rotating from place to place, so that we can minimize shared spaces and shared materials. But we are so looking forward. The theme is going to be, have you heard? God is speaking to you. And it's going to be all about God, the Good Shepherd, and how God cares and provides and loves and leads us. we are gearing back up for this being together. We're looking forward to having parental dedication again. It's been almost a whole year of babies that we're going to get to meet soon in person. And so we'll be having Mother's Day and Father's Day parental dedications. And then we are, again, taking all the considerations that we can to make sure that worship care is going to be a safe place for our kids when we regather. So we will be having pre-registration for that so that we can assign kids to classrooms and have the adequate staff there to take care of them. We'll be following all kinds of cleaning protocols and just be committed to having everyone have a safe and wonderful time back in our new clean classrooms. So we can't wait to be back together.
We have been making the most of the opportunities that we have in adult discipleship over this Lenten season. Hopefully some of you got to participate in the Ash Wednesday service outside of the church. And then we've been having our Lenten guides. So we've been following through some spiritual practices as we look to our theme of that we may see Jesus. What are the things that we can cultivate in our own life that help us to see Jesus better as we get ready for the journey to the cross and to Easter? And so each day, hopefully you'll see them as they come out. There's a daily prayer and a daily breath prayer as well. And so I hope that you're making the most of those. We've also launched a couple of small groups around the topic of forgiveness, which have been going really well. And as we're getting ready for Maundy Thursday, it will look a little bit different this year, but we are thankful that we can do some physically present in-person type of gathering. So Maundy Thursday, if you've participated before, while we won't have the typical service to begin the service, we will have the station set up in the sanctuary. They'll be available from 9 to 1 on that Thursday, April 1st, and also from 4 to 7. And we'll have kits put together so that all of the supplies that you need to participate in those stations will be individually parceled out for you. There'll be the stations that you're familiar with, the candle screens, the cross for you to put your confession or your prayer to nail that there, and a variety of others. So I hope you'll participate in that. And then, Sunday school classes for the most part have been going strong on Zoom during this season of COVID. But as we talk about regathering for worship, we're beginning to talk with Sunday school classes about what does that regathering look like for them. And so, and what technology might we bring with us into this next season of our life together. So if you don't have a Sunday school class, we're going to have a lot of new beginnings in Sunday school. This would be a great time to join with a group. I'm also hoping that over the next couple months, we're going to have a few new groups starting. So that would be a great opportunity to be a part of that, as well as a couple new small groups that are going to be starting. So look for all that information, and I hope you'll be a part of that.
Last night we had our Mission and Ministry Committee meeting, and they are real excited about continuing the missions that we're doing. The Tuesday night Feeding the Homeless is still going strong, feeding around 100, 200 folks every Tuesday night. We're still doing the food boxes on Friday night, delivering over 100 food boxes, and we're working on the Joe Knox's house out in Homestead. But we have decided to cancel all foreign mission trips this year, but hopefully next year we'll be able to get out and go out into all the world as Jesus told us to. And so we're real excited about that. So David Barkley's the chairman of the Mission Ministry Committee, and he's going to be leading the charge on all the mission stuff. We're praying for our partners and all the Harrelson City folks. And so the missions is still going strong, and all of them are real opening up more and get more people involved. So it's been really good.
For, I guess 12, 14 years since we moved our church offices from the Sidbury House over here to the WLI building, my desk has been situated such that I can look out the window and I see Market Street out there. And I'm reminded every day of how important it is to be the church on the street. And First Baptist Church, we have done a phenomenal job as being the church on the street for better than a year now. I was talking with one of our church members this morning, and he said, "I understand you have a new grandson." And I said, "I do." And I mentioned about being our second grandson. And he said, "Well, I thought you just had a granddaughter." I said, well, actually, I have a granddaughter, and now I have 2 grandsons. One is 11 months old, and no one has ever seen this child because First Baptist Church has not gathered. And so there are so many things that have happened in the past year in that our church has really been church on the street and on the screen and in some small group gatherings. Really enjoyed doing that, being part of those Sunday school classes that Jane has mentioned in our classes have done a terrific job in staying together and meeting each week. And also our deacon ministry. Our deacon ministry has kept us so well connected. Last week we had our first in-person deacons meeting in a good while. We met outside at the activity center, and it was terrific in that everything that we do with a purpose. And our purpose there was community, and also as we journey through a time of Lent, to reflect upon what it must have been like for the disciples, and particularly Peter, as he gathered by a charcoal fire on the night that Jesus went before that mock trial, if you will. So we gathered outside the activity center around a fire. It was a beautiful time of worship together, and kind of like we're going to do with our Maundy Thursday service. Disciples and deacons were able to, or I guess deacons as disciples, were able to write down some things that they wanted to let go of. And not ministry opportunities, but things that maybe that have bothered them for some time, some sins, some habit or something that they needed to get rid of. And so with those, they wrote them down and put them in that fire. And as they burned and as they went away and the smoke drifted away, I hope that they felt a sense of freedom from those things that have bothered them for some time. Our deacons, when we meet, they always share about how special it is to stay connected with the folks in their group. Some of our deacons are comfortable visiting with some of the people, those who have all had vaccines, and then others contact them by Zoom or text or phone calls. And that's been a terrific thing. Most importantly, though, I think we all look forward to our beginning to regather again. A couple of our small groups have already made plans for getting together. One of them is starting to meet at the activity center one night during the week. Another group was talking about doing that. And we're all looking forward to being together on Easter Sunday. As we gather out at Airlie Gardens under the ancient oak, I reflected back, gosh, last year we couldn't even do that because the park was closed. But this year the park is going to be open. So we'll gather at 7 a.m. and at 8 a.m. And as Ms. Becca said, have an egg hunt. I know some people will probably bring cameras and we'll take some photographs out there among the beautiful flowers at Airlie. And then May the 2nd, as we plan for regathering. Right now, we've set a limit of 125 people per person in the 2 worship services that we're going, or 125 people per service in the 2 worship services that we're going to have. And that number may go up some as more people get vaccinated. It's going to be terrific to be together, and so looking forward to seeing people in that sanctuary and preaching to live faces. We preaching before a camera is not the most comfortable thing. And anytime we're together as a church family, there's always comfort, there's always community, there's always fellowship. And so as we plan for regathering, there's an excitement that's building. So a couple of folks have already asked, when can we begin to register to come to those worship services? And you'll see that. We'll put word out about 10 days in advance for people to start registering for those services. And it's going to be great. It's going to be good. That first Sunday back is going to be the first Sunday in May, and we'll participate in communion that day. I just can't think of a better way for us to enjoy fellowship and communion. Of course, we will do it in a safe way, individual cups for everybody. As you come in, you'll pick your cup up, and it'll be great. We've enjoyed sharing time as a staff, preaching, and that has been a neat thing. So many members of our congregation have talked about how much you have enjoyed getting to know us better through some of our preaching and the stories that we've told. Especially the one this past Sunday where Miss Becca talked about going bungee jumping, plunging off of a bridge in Africa. And I can promise you won't ever hear that coming from this fella as he tells stories. So the stories that we've been able to share with you has been neat for us, and I hope that you all feel connected closer to us and closer to other members of your church family.
Talking about what Jim said, how it's so hard to preach to a camera. I'm also looking forward to singing to somebody other than a camera. I know that Gavin and Kimbrough are tired of hearing me every single Monday morning as well. So we are so looking forward to being able to worship with the gathering on May 2nd. But there's actually other opportunities, as Jim said. So we are gearing up for our Easter early sunrise services. I've got a brass quartet that's going to join us for that 7 o'clock service. The choir actually has been recording some pieces. We've been recording them 10 people at a time. And so I'm looking forward to sharing those recordings with all of you in just a few weeks when you'll get to see those. And then looking ahead, it looks like we're going to be able to at least have small ensembles leading worship. So even when we're back in person in the sanctuary, it's not just going to be me singing or just Kimbrough singing. We're going to be able to have small groups that will hopefully get to be larger as restrictions are lessened. So I'm really looking forward to that. Also, I've been talking with a number of instrumentalists around our area, both within our church and within our community, and they're all very excited for some opportunities that might be coming up later in the summer and maybe even closer to Christmas, where we'll be able to have some live instrumentalists again. And so lots of things that are happening and also getting ready to happen in the traditional worship side of things.
I'll go ahead and speak to the modern worship side of things. We are, the entire group is really looking forward to being back together in person. As you all probably know, the way we've been doing those worship songs that are part of our online services is we've been having people come in on an individual basis and then putting them all together later. So really the group hasn't had an opportunity to make music together for the Lord in a very long time in person. And so they're all very excited about that. I'm looking forward to it as well. Over the last year, we have, in the church building, we have been doing some minor upgrades really around the stage and in the sanctuary just to kind of make life a little bit easier on some of the volunteers. And so that includes kind of simplifying some of the cable running. We have switched to acoustic drums from our electric drum kit and have built an enclosure that moves out onto the stage for the modern service and then goes back into the closet. And so that's going to be really cool. I'm a big fan of real drums and not electronic drums. So that's going to be nice. In fact, we were really close to having that finished before COVID happened. So the first service we're going to have live drums is going to be, May, whatever date that is, May 2nd. So that's really exciting. Kelsey is going to be taking a role on Sunday mornings as the stage manager. And again, just kind of helping us keep things running smoothly in the modern service. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to being back together. Worship is something that by its very nature is designed to be corporate. And so it's going to be really great to have that element back in the way that we worship here at First Baptist. Really looking forward to it.
Prior to COVID, my primary responsibilities were Tuesday noon church and visiting people, the in crowd, that is those people who are homebound and those people who are in facilities. That came to a screeching halt a year ago. And so I started writing the Hunker Down homilies as a way of staying connected with people, a way of offering some encouragement and hopefully a little humor along the way. And I appreciate all the positive response that's come from that. But we are looking forward to starting Tuesday noon church again. We're beginning some conversations about when that might happen and what that might look like. Of course, we want to do that as safely as possible, but that looks like maybe on the horizon, possibly even with some kind of special event this summer. So we're working towards that. The other piece is the visitation piece. And as more and more of our seniors are becoming vaccinated and as the facilities are beginning to allow visitors, I anticipate beginning to get back into visiting people in person. I'm really looking forward to that. One of the neat things that's happened through COVID is several people asked me early on how they could help with ministry to our senior adults. And so I gave these individuals 5 or 6 names of people to call just to stay in touch with, to see if they had any needs, to encourage them. And some really great relationships have developed from that. And so as the visitation becomes more available, I really think it's going to be exciting when these new friends are able to meet face to face for the first time and extend that relationship that they've developed. So it's exciting things happening, and we're really glad to see the opportunities to regather corporately and just to meet individually as we begin to get on the backside of this COVID thing.
You know, as far as administration goes, I think the word for us is transition. Y'all know we've been in transition without a senior pastor now for quite some time. We've been in transition because of COVID. We're also getting ready to experience some personnel transition. And we are at work rapidly trying to make those transitions as smooth as possible. As you know, Margaret Johnson is retiring this very week. Don is retiring next week. We've got a replacement plan for each of them in somewhat some separate ways that's underway. We also, during COVID, had Kelly Stevens leave our employment and take a job at the university. And so we have to fill her position. And Kelsey has gone back to school. So that's left a void in her full-time position, and we'll be filling that relatively soon. And to keep the train rolling, Beth Cameron, our financial secretary, is retiring in May, and we will begin looking for her replacement to serve our church with a new title of business manager / bookkeeper. I am pleased to tell you that we are making some progress. We have hired Savannah Daughtry as our ministry assistant for communications. Savannah will be starting with us the Tuesday after Easter, and we're so excited for her to be on our staff and to be working with us. Also, this very day, Jerry Tyson has begun work at the Activity Center. He will be the administrative coordinator for the Activity Center, and Jerry is so excited about being part of church, and we're so excited about having Jerry with us. We have posted a job description on Indeed for our financial secretary, and if anyone out there would like to, show some interest in that, we'd love to talk to you about that. We're looking for a great person for a great fit, and we also need to find a part-time interim for Minister of Missions. That's something that, as we continue to dream, we hope maybe we can find a church member that's got some time on their hands that would love to help us keep involved with our missional engagement with our church and with our groups. And so there's just a lot going on. And, transition is the word that I would continue to say, but all is good. As sad as it is with some of these situations of people retiring and leaving and that kind of stuff, the good is what we have to look forward to ahead. And we're so happy to those transitions taking place, including the opening of the office. We're excited about that happening at some time as well. And so lots of things going on. And Jeannie and I are both working on something, and I'll let her talk about it more fully, but we've got a church app that's going to be introduced relatively soon, and really excited about that.
Thanks, John. That was a great transition. Everybody's plate is busy, and everybody has a lot of irons in the fire. Wait a minute. That's how you say that, right? Plate spinning. Yesterday morning, I actually had a little email conversation with John Daniels. I think by 8:30, he had sent me 4 to-dos, or things he was working on that he needed to push out to me for communication. And I texted him back and said, wow, you sure are busy this morning. And by 1 o'clock, he had messaged me back and he went, wow, you sure are busy this morning, because I had messaged him back and forth. So we all have lots of things going on, but it's good stuff. And it's stuff that we believe is important to help lead people toward a closer relationship with Christ. And so that's what we're about. I'm just going to touch on a few things here. My main job has been to support everybody else in trying to get communication that we need to get communicated out to not only our church members, but to our community. And so that's really where I've been. I am really excited about Savannah starting right after Easter. I have been doing 98% of communication, and I'm really looking forward to sharing that with someone else and giving more responsibility as it unfolds to the communications person. So I can spend more time toward connection. I have some great ideas for connection, and I want to have the capacity to be able to help folks really get folded into the life of First Baptist Church, and then to push that outside of just the people who know about our church to the people who don't know about our church. And so I'm looking forward to that. As John mentioned, we are working on a church app. This is something that I think is going to be just a game changer for our congregation. You will be able to have the church app on your phone, and you'll pull it up and be able to have all information for our First Baptist Church at the touch of your hand. So excited about the church app and all that it's going to bring to expanding our ministry footprint. Helping people get onboarded and folding folks into the life of our church is sort of where I'm headed next, as also working with the pastor transition team or the pastor search committee and getting those things up on our website as they get ready to go even deeper into their work of finding our new pastors. So I've been working with them. So there's just a lot of things going on that seem a little bit behind the scenes, but very much are a vital part of the ministry of our church. If you don't already pay attention to it, I really encourage you to look at the weekly eConnect that comes out. It is the nut and bolts of the things that are happening within the life of our church that week, and then maybe perhaps the week right after, information that we want you to know. I try to be really careful to only give you the information I think is vital at the time. And so I want you to pay attention when that comes out every week, because it is important. And then I guess the other piece of our ministry and communication is everything that we do for worship. You know, we fully believe that having an online presence in worship is not something that should go away as we moved it toward regathering. And so I am looking forward to helping the rest of our team develop that and see what that looks like for First Baptist Church. We have found already that we are reaching folks, not only people who just physically can't get to worship on Sunday mornings, but they live out of our community, or they even live out of our state. We've even had some people overseas who have engaged in worship. And, you know, we just want to be able to do that well as we strive to make disciples for Christ. And that's what our goal is. And so why shouldn't we use every platform that we have to be able to let the love of Christ come through? So I'm looking forward to that. Well, I'm really thankful for each of you. Don, we are so thankful for the ministry that you have provided, and we're going to get to celebrate you as your retirement comes even closer. But, and Margaret, we certainly are so thankful for you and look forward to both of you experiencing retirement in a new and fresh way. But anybody have anything else they want to add? I just want to remind you to always go to our website. That's fbcwilmington.org. There's a news section, there's events, there's sermon information, everything that you need to know, kids information, student information, everything you need to know is on our website, and it is current and up to date every single day. So, all right, friends, I love you all. Say goodbye.
See ya.
See ya.